Welcome. I'm Yu Fujihara, and I'm your vintage denim advisor. In this video, I'd like to talk about the popular 501XX model jeans. I think they might be the most popular type. It's commonly called the 501XX one-sided tabs. They were released after the war in 1947, from about 1947 to 1953. They're all one-sided tabs, but there were some other changes between 47 and 53. Today, I hope I can talk about these one-sided tabs. We have the usual dead stock, but today, I'd like to show you the faded styles like this one. This one that I'm holding is the 1947 model. It's the most simple. The leather patch has fallen off, but usually it should still be attached. I'll explain what I meant when I said one-sided. This red tab, which is the trademark of Levi's, is only written on one side. There's nothing on the other side. This is what's commonly known as one-sided tabs. The silhouette is straight and slender, and I think the color of the stitching is inherited from the previous model. They use all yellow stitches, and yellow stitching is inherited from the previous model. There's also this thick belt loop. We call it extra thick. It's pretty wide compared to the others. Last but not least are the ears on the bottom. This side stitching is pretty long. I'm the type of person who cares about the length of the stitching, especially when it's viewed from the side. Personally, I think the longer stitching is cooler. When it has the longer side stitching, it signifies that this pair is from the 1940s. Next, the rivets. The letters on the rivets are quite important. The left is the older pair, and the middle is the later period. You'll notice the different letter sizes on the rivets. If you look at these features, I'm sure you'll be able to tell the ages. Sometimes it's surprisingly easy. This one is from 1947. It is one of the first models for the one-sided style. This one has a bit of damage in the crotch area. The size is 32-31, which is a pretty popular size. They're 198,000 yen plus tax. It's not easy to find a one-sided tab in the XX style in the 100,000 yen price range. I think I mentioned these are from 1947 to 1953. Now we'll look at the difference between the 2 years. This is the next model after the 47s. It doesn't have a price tag because it's one of my personal pairs. I unloaded this from dead stock, and it's been about 10 to 11 years. At the time, I didn't use the glue on these, and instead, I unloaded them from the dead stock for myself. I also removed the leather patch by myself. When I went out for a drink with a younger colleague, he spilled a red cocktail on me. There was more than half the glass left, and it spilled all over my jeans. At that time, Beyond X hadn't even come out, so I tried washing them using a delicate detergent, but it caused the indigo color to start to bleed through, and a lot of the color faded. Well, I didn't really care about it later on. I put them in the dryer when they were starting to feel a bit stretched, and I think I'll wear them for the rest of my life. I mean, it's already been 10 years now. Honestly, I can't really say for sure what year this pair is from. But as far as I'm concerned, I'd say around 49 to 50. The side stitching is long. From this period, the stitching starts to have a hint of orange in it. The 47s I mentioned earlier all had yellow stitches, but here the stitching is orange, and it's more yellow right here. So the stitching is a combination of yellow and orange, so I'm guessing around 49 or 50. And one more feature. the letters on the rivets. As you can see on the right, the size of the letters gets bigger. The big letters, the long side stitching, and even the tint of orange in the stitches are what make them different from the 47s. The only other difference is the belt loops are a little thinner. I think I previously stated that the early ones are thick, so the fact that they're thinner proves that they're from the middle periods. This is just another minute feature. This is the last pair. I'm almost certain these are 53s. The difference here is in the side stitching, which I mentioned earlier. They're clearly shorter. This is the biggest giveaway. After you recognize it as a one-sided tab, if the side stitches are short, they're from a later period model. The size of the letters on the rivets are the same size as the ones on my middle period pairs. If you look closely at the stitching, you can see that they both have mixed stitching with yellow and orange. So the difference between this and the previous pair is primarily the side stitching. When the stitching is short, I think it's pretty safe to say that it's a really late model of a one-sided tab. The actual size is a 34-35, so it's a bit long in length. The heel has been a little dragged, so there is some damage. The patch has also fallen. This pair is 298,000 yen. It's a replica, more like a reprint, and it looks like the 47 model. And it seems to be the most popular. I asked a Levi's employee about it, and they told me that the one-sided XX is not too expensive for most people, and you can wear them all the time. I've been speaking very passionately about this today, but I'm glad to have introduced you to these one-sided XXs from 1947 to 53. Thank you for watching.